testicle. Hopefully it'll work. Well, I know my testicles do work. Anyway, sorry. See, that's the effect I have on women. They just kind of lose their footing and... Anyway, I've just come up the motorway on this, the brand new S1000RR 2015, the little scoop nose, new one, and I'm at a petrol station. Yesterday we did quite a lot of back-to-back sort of testing. Well, we had two bikes. We had the old one and this one, and it's a very different environment when you're trying to do stuff for like a magazine or a website. When trucks park there. This is when I got fucking run over the other time. It's a very different thing. You don't really get a lot of time on the bike to kind of just accept what it is, kind of think about stuff. It's always like, oh shit, we've got to get a photo of this, we've got to go drive down the road 100 times, do this, do that. This, for me, just riding a bike to work, is the best way of really understanding what I like about it. Because I've ridden so many different bikes on the same route, like a bit of motorway, traffic, all that shit. And I'm not talking about track and race riding, that's a different ball game, innit? Can I just say, it's bloody cold. I'm trying not to swear, by the way, because my little boy is starting to pick up swear words. So I'm trying to caveat my fuckness. So it's bloody cold, minus a million, and I'm on a 200 brake horsepower motorcycle. Just do the old downshift. It's so fast, this thing, I tell you. It is ridiculous. But in a kind of, it's not intimidating fast, it's just twat fast. And what I mean by that is, it's so easy to go fast, way faster than you think, that it just becomes a matter of self-control. The exhaust on this bike sounds a whole lot better than the last one. It doesn't look as nice, granted. It looks a bit kind of homemade. But what a machine. What can we say about it? Let's say, first off, the jumping on it, the most noticeable difference is the electronic suspension. I don't like the phrase magic carpet ride. It just, I don't know, it's overused. Sounds like I'm in Aladdin. So good! Oh, and what are we in? Race mode. That sounds fitting for a -3 day. And what you're going to notice, thank you. Wow, and Addison Lee moved over. Thanks, buddy. What you're going to notice me doing a lot is just needlessly shifting on this quick shifter up and down, because it is so engaging. It will change the way you ride, I promise you. Maybe it's, I don't know if it's a good or bad thing, but it will. It feels so good doing it, you just want to do it all the time. Whoa, 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 whoa. And for once, my jacket actually matches the bike. Bit of a Lawrence Llewellyn-Bowen moment there, sorry. So what else can we say? So the electronic suspension, you know, I'm a convert now. On track, I think the ultimate top riders will probably have a problem with this system because it's a bit softer than the HP4 suspension. But you've got to be such a good rider to feel any negatives that, you know, and if it doesn't really matter. And if you are that good, then you can just ride round it. After all, it is a road bike, and this is where 98% of all the riding this bike will be is on the road, and the race boys will just, you know, chop it out of their own suspension anyway. So there's one reason to not like it, which is it's a minor kind of thing, which, you know, you can say about anything else on the bike, is that it's probably going to be more expensive to fix. I mean, the more electronic kind of moving parts you have, obviously you're opening a window to the more things that can go wrong with it. And that's my only kind of criticism. But then, if you said that, everyone's just going to be stuck in the dark ages forever, aren't they? And no one's going to improve anything. It's a cracker of a bike. I mean, the throttle. Let's talk about that. Actually, that was one big noticeable difference from the older bike. And I had it on mine as well, and I think I mentioned it on the HP4. Is that when you're kind of pulling away, you really have to kind of really labour a little bit, twisting that throttle around and get it to kind of spin up before you let the clutch out. This is not like that at all. This is way lighter. It feels like it's just got way more instant kind of power, far less fatiguing on the wrists. And again, with this auto blipper, the up and down, so you have to shut the throttle to do it, by the way. So you shut the throttle. With this auto blipper, again, you're fatiguing yourself less by kind of having to faff around with levers and shit. It's beautiful. It's such a beautiful bike to ride. And I'll just fill you in a little bit on the journey on the motorway into London. Very boring stuff, motorways, aren't they? So that's why I never record them. But the cruise control was very helpful. Set that, chill out, relax. I also set an MPG. Someone asked me, because basically the video I put up last time, I was asking people to go and ask questions and to go and ask questions and post them on that other sites. I asked people to post questions on the 44 Teeth page. One of them was, there was loads there, and we're trying our best to answer them all. One of them was on fuel economy. So at 80, sat on cruise control at 80 miles an hour, this bike does, look at this fucking traffic, look at these poor fucking arseholes. Sorry, look at these poor people. I've got to stop fucking swearing. So yes, at 80 miles an hour, this bike does 55 mpg. That is pretty good. That is pretty bloody good, considering it's a 200 brake horsepower bike. When I tested it on a closed circuit, at 3 figures, 100, oh poor little lady, it was 45 mpg. So it does 55 at 80, 45 at 100. And that is pretty incroyable. Oh, come on, fuckface. Oh, it's nice to be able to filter again. He's not going to go anywhere, so let us go here. Turning circle. There's probably no difference, and I've got nothing to back this up because I didn't test it properly, but it felt like the older model had a slightly better turning circle, ever so slightly. Oh, now I've got to sit here like a wank stain because I'm not allowed down there. So now I actually have to behave like a car, which is very disappointing. Right, let's enter it. Enter the hole. Stuck like a duck in a fuck. I saw two ducks gang banging one other duck when I was a kid once, and it scarred me for ages. But what reminded me about it was I drove past that duck pond the other day, and I was like, oh fuck. That's where that duck bitch got nailed. Heat, some people asked about heat. Yeah, the old one in summer would get hot on the frame, but I mean, it's 0 degrees today, so just, if anything, I would love it to get hot. It's worth noting this bike is about 5mm higher, taller than the old one, so if you're a shorty, if you struggle on the old one, you will certainly struggle on this. I reckon I can fit through there. That is tight. I'm going to do it. Fuck yeah. That little pop is so good. And this is a stock can. It's the best sounding stock exhaust I have ever heard. Okay, what's going to be the hold up? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Power. It does have 5 bhp more. Whether you would ever really notice that in terms of top end, but you can feel the mid-range improvements for sure. For sure. Oh, look at this! It's just a shithole, isn't it? Let's go through here. Oh, there's a guy up there. I want him. I want him. He is keen. He is keen. Oh, fucking hell. I mean, I like getting through tight holes, but that is ridiculous. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my god, it's so good. Need I say it? It's a jizz machine. Wank stain. So power, definitely got more torque. Riding position, maybe let's talk about the size. A few people have said it's smaller, but I don't think it is. I think the bars are wider, which is nicer. The pegs are a little higher. That's definite. The pegs are definitely higher than the last one. So it does, if anything, you get a bit of kind of bunching of your gear. Ow, I just hit my nuts. Underneath your knees, like in the back of your crease of your knee. But apart from that, it's reasonably okay. I mean, and I've just stepped off a GS as well, so. But it's just the way it soaks up the grain of the tarmac. It just, whoa. I mean, that's a horrible section of road, and it's just insanely good. So yeah, I don't think it's too small. I feel alright. I feel alright on it. I mean, I've done the mistake. Do you ever do this when you wear a hoodie underneath your gear, and then you're sat on the motorway and you can't tuck your head back because the hood is all like bound up behind your neck, and it's like very annoying. So that's my own stupid fault for not thinking about it. Oh, it just sounds so good. Feels so good. BMW are going to sell a fuck ton of these. The old one is a fantastic bike as well, but this is just taking it up again. The only thing I suppose is not to everyone's taste is what it looks like. But you know, BMW continue on their brand path. That's what they feel differentiates them from other manufacturers, and that's fair enough. If they want to make it look like this, they can make it look like this, but I think they probably would sell more if they made it prettier. I mean, this one in particular, the white plastic here, which on the old one was the black kind of textured thing, just down there, that looks a bit cheap, if I'm honest, and it's just odd. I mean, it'd probably look pretty cool if it had a white belly pan, but that's grey, the cheap grey plastic bit, so yeah. I just love it. I just love it. I don't think anything accelerates as quick as this. I haven't ridden anything that does, that's for sure. This is so fast, but yet so controlled. Oh, you fucking wanker. I mean, how is this sign right? What the fuck? Fuck this. So would I buy one? If I wanted a new bike and I was going to upgrade, yeah, totally. I mean, why would you buy, like, I mean, I love Fireblades, but why would you buy a Fireblade for 12 grand when you can buy this for just a little bit more? And it really does annihilate the Fireblade. Cheers, mate. Cheers, mate. Cheers, mate. Look at this shit. What is going on? Yeah, so and now the only thing the Blade had going for it in terms of competition with the S1000 was the torque, and now this bike has addressed that. It's a no-brainer. Bring on the R1, let's see what that's like. I hate people.